Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Tanks, and today I've got for you a video just having a quick chat about the upcoming Italian heavy tanks, and also I've got a replay for you of me playing my Bisonte C45. If you want to know more about the Bisonte specifically, I have got a tank review of it somewhere, I hope, and if Future Max remembers, he may or may not post a link to it in the description if I do remember. But anyway, yeah, I'm playing the Bisonte. We're on Erlenberg. We're in a tier 10 game, so it's actually like the worst matchup you can possibly get in this thing. And yeah, we're gonna see what we can do. We're on encounter. Encounter. I don't mean encounter. I mean assault. We're attacking, so we've only got 10 minutes to do so. And obviously, Erlenberg is a bit of a bugger. I'm coming over to the 7890 line because trying to attack across the river is absolutely rubbish. And yeah, I'll just leave this on in the background. I'm just going to talk a bit about what's upcoming for the Italian heavies, how you can prepare yourself, how you can prepare yourselves, how you can, like, what I think they're going to be all about. And obviously I'll probably be proved massively wrong when they actually drop, and then you can all laugh at me. So, you know, it's a win-win really. Also, I'd just like to point out, I have installed the 3 mark mod. That is not my mark of excellence on the Bisonte. I've only got one. I think it's just bugged because it's obviously a replay, so I don't really know what's gone on there. But anyway, Italian heavies. So they are going to start from the, I believe it's the P43 Bis, the tier 6 Italian medium tank. And they are going to go up through tier 7, tier 8, tier 9, and tier 10. First thing you should do to get prepared for it, I'm sure if you guys are interested, you already have, but uncheck, well, first of all, buy back the P43 Bis, and then uncheck your accelerate crew training on that tank, so that you can basically get the, I can't remember what the tier 7 is, but get the tier 7 as soon as it's released, which is what I'm planning on doing so that I can start down the line straight away. Other things you can do if you were fortunate enough to be able to get the Bisonte C45 in the Christmas boxes, like myself, then obviously don't uncheck accelerated crew training. Check accelerated crew training so that you can get a nice decent crew ready to go for when you when you get your Italian heavies. And then yeah, other than that, it's just all about waiting really. Obviously, if you've got a good crew and you've already got the tank as soon as it goes in, if you've got a massive amount of free XP and you don't particularly want to play the tier 7 or the tier 8 or the tier 9 and just want to free XP up to the tier 10, then if you want to gold your way up to it, then do that yourselves. But yeah, the Italian heavies in general, and this is where we'll come back more to what's happening in this game. With the newer auto reloading mechanic, obviously the auto reloader has been in the game for a long time with the mediums, and now they've added it in with the heavies, and I'm kind of a bit like, I see your point, but look what happens to this Progetto. Slim shady shot at the side of his turret, he thinks he's completely exposed, drives out, and I just unload all 3 into him. Hahaha, screw you. I think I literally did like all of the damage to that Progetto with maybe the exception of a 1 shot, so I'm quite happy about that. But yeah, the auto reloading mechanic, it's a very interesting mechanic, and it's a very good mechanic, and when it works on the way it works on the mediums, I think is very good. That is mostly because on the mediums, obviously because of their lower alpha damage, it means that you can still unload quite quickly, and when you get up to the tier 10 Italian medium tank, it honestly feels like your reload is so long if you dig right into the deep part of your cliff. And that's one of probably the downsides of the tank, and why I'm slightly actually worried about the Italian heavy tanks. Because playing the Bisonte, you quite often find yourself going into a fight that you haven't engaged someone for like 30 seconds or so, and you think, oh, I've got all 3 of my shells, and you actually look and you're still loading in your 3rd shell, and then like you're out of position, you need to fire. You fire, and then you just absolutely, completely trash your DPM. I don't know if that's going to be something that all the Italian heavies have, or if it's just the Bisonte, but looking at the stats of them, obviously they've got bigger guns, so I feel like it's going to be a problem where you really are going to have to be very good on your shell discipline in the new tanks. It works on the mediums, such as the Progetto and the and the Pantera and obviously the premium Progetto, because the reload is quite short. So even if you fire all 3 shots, if you then disengage for 20 seconds, you've got all 3 back. Whereas this is, I can't remember what the load time is on the Bisonte, but it's quite a long time. And I do find myself quite often being like, well, I haven't actually got all the shells I want. The little, I can't think what you call it, the compensation mechanic is actually quite nice, and I really like this, and I think this will obviously help, which is where if you're a percentage of a way through into loading the next shell and you have to fire, you get some compensation on the next shell that you load in. And yeah, that's pretty much all she wrote for this game. Little nice cheeky fire at the end there. 4,000 damage nearly. It's saying that I've pretty much 3-marked the vehicle. I have not, I promise. I've only got 1 mark. Oh, no, I have got 1 mark at this point. But yeah, this was actually a very nice game. A very quick game as well. It only lasted about 5 minutes. But yeah, the compensation mechanic is quite nice because obviously it allows you to fire a shell if you absolutely need to and not feel like you're completely trashing that next shell. But I still feel the fact that if you're anywhere beyond your first shell in the clip in the Italian Heavies, I feel like you're going to be so down on DPM and just so inflexible that if you see an Italian Heavy fire his first shot, or even if he fires his first 2, you can rush him and you might take 1 or 2, but then you are probably going to be able to kill him. Obviously, tank dependent, situation dependent. But I feel like they're just going to be left so vulnerable to tanks that to players that know what they're doing, and I think they're going to be quite high skill cap to get right and to get hold of. And if you've got the Bisonte, I'd recommend playing it a decent amount so that you can get used to the mechanic, get used to trying to keep hold of your shells. But I honestly think it's going to be really, really hard. And I think, actually, they're going to still kill stuff. I think I ran the LT, actually. That was my bad. I was like, I swear I did 4K this game. Stupid Max. Honestly. Ran the LT for 500 damage, and then he gets finished off by someone else. We actually took a load of damage for that. And according to my Mark of Excellence mod, I've 3-marked the tank now, which is great. I really haven't, I'd like to point out. But yeah, so that's kind of like my general overview on the Italian Heavies and what I think the auto reload is going to be like. They look okay, like the rest of the tank looks okay, and I'm not taking the stats as gospel, because if you just look at the stats of the Italian medium tanks, especially the Progetto 46, for example, on paper it looks rubbish, because the standard shell, the single shell reload is longer than most tanks, and if you try and auto load it, it's crap compared to something like the Barasque or the Lorraine. Like it just doesn't quite look as good. But then you actually play the tank and you realise it's probably one of, if not the best, tier 8 medium tanks. So I'm not sure. I'm gonna wait for my full judgment until obviously I play the tanks, and that should be relatively soon when the Italian Heavies arrive. But I would just say to everyone, just be cautious in both regards. Be cautious if you get them and you're playing them, not to go too gun-ho with them, because you've got this swanky new mechanic and you can just fully unload on someone, because then I think you're going to die. But also, I'd say to everyone, be careful by just looking at the stats and thinking they don't look overly great, when they probably, especially in the hands of a good player, can be played very well, and you're probably going to get beaten up by them in certain situations if a good player is driving them, or if a slightly worse player is playing them correctly. But yeah, anyway, that was just kind of a quick video. It was mostly, to be fair, to show you the gameplay, but I thought rather than just doing a gameplay, I'd kind of talk a bit about the new Italian Heavies, what I kind of think, what I think everyone's going to be, what I think they're going to be about. But anyway, in the game, we did 4,356 damage, 1,485 assisted, and 1,260 blocked. Not too bad. 3 kills. And again, you got to bear in mind this game, we were bottom tier. So we were going up against E100s, Progettos, 277s, Jaegerus, things like that. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to bother showing the post-game stats because they're pretty much all she wrote. So if you have enjoyed the video, guys, please consider giving it a like. Let me know in the comments what you think about the new upcoming Italian heavy tanks. Have you got the Bisonte? What do you think of it? Do you think you're going to play them well? Do you think you're going to struggle in them? Do you think they're going to be played well? Do you think people are going to struggle in them? And other than that, please consider subscribing if you're new to the channel. Go check out my other videos, guys. Like I said, I will make sure, if I remember rightly, to put a link to the Bisonte tank review in the description. And other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.